YouTube, what's going on today? It's Graydon Bulick back here with another episode of the Graydon Bulick Show. Hope you're doing well. I'm actually on schedule this week, so that's a good thing. This video will be out on Wednesday. You'll be catching this live Wednesday morning at 11 a.m. The audio will also be live on Wednesday. We're going to start doing more of the audio with the video, and those will both be uploaded simultaneously. Another big announcement, TikTok is back. The link for that will be in the description of this video, along with the link tree for all my socials and all the platforms that I'm on. So yeah, TikTok's back. We'll be uploading regularly, and be able to give more content on that platform. I know I got rid of it seems like just a couple months ago, but had a buddy tell me that I needed to be back on that. So we're going to be back on TikTok. And then this video is going to be about the NBA playoffs update. We are now in round 2, which is the conference semifinals. We'll get into that. And then we've had some stuff going on in the college football world with the transfer portal and NIL deals and all that kind of stuff. It's more the transfer portal. We have a quote, and there's a quote from Desmond Howard that I want to show you guys. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and jump into the video. Thanks for being here. Share this with a friend, all that good stuff. And yeah, we're gonna jump into it. Okay, so NBA playoffs is here. We're in the second round. The first 2 games, the first 2 teams that played the first 4 teams that played in the second round was Milwaukee and Boston. Milwaukee won game 1. They're up 1-0. That is the 3-2 series in the East, and then Golden State, Memphis. And that game actually came down to the wire. Ja Morant missing the game-winning layup right there at the end. Klay Thompson guarding just off the front of the rim. It was a crazy play. So that's going to be an awesome series to watch. Game 2 will be on Wednesday, and I'll be able to give all of my input and stuff on TikTok. I'll upload videos there for TikTok, Instagram, probably YouTube Shorts as well. But anyway, yeah, that game was pretty awesome. I got to watch that game, and Ja Morant is unbelievable. We all know that. Golden State is very, very good still. It's the 2 versus 3, and so like I said, game 2 will be in Memphis. I wouldn't be shocked if Memphis came back to win that one before heading to Golden State for games 3 and 4. And then Phoenix and Dallas is the other game in the West, and then Miami and Philadelphia. Those teams are actually playing tonight, which is Monday night, and those I know you won't see this till Wednesday, but if you want, I'm gonna upload stuff to TikTok, Instagram Shorts, Instagram Reels and YouTube Shorts for all of the NBA playoff games, since I only upload 1 YouTube video a week. But anyway, that's the NBA playoffs update. It's been fun to watch. Like I said, the teams are playing out of their minds. Ja Morant, Memphis, putting the scare on the dynasty of the Golden State Warriors, and then Milwaukee and Boston. Milwaukee coming off, obviously, a championship season, and they're looking to get back to another finals. Giannis is looking for another finals win, but they're going to have to go through Boston and then potentially Miami or Philadelphia. And so those are the games coming up. And then, like I said, you'll see my thoughts on those on TikTok here soon. We're going to go ahead. That's the NBA playoffs, and we'll jump into NIL, college football, transfer portal news, all that kind of stuff. Crazy stuff happening there. So see you in the next segment. Okay, so thoughts on the college transfer portal. It's actually been really weird to see the transfer portal and how it's affected the game, how it's affected teams, how it's affected players and coaches and their decision making and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we say NIL, name, image, and likeness deals have a lot to do with all of that. And it's kind of, in my opinion, over the course of the next few years, I think we'll drastically see it impact the way college football works, how teams recruit, because it's basically like free agency in the NFL. It's not exactly the same, but that's the best way I can compare it and describe it. And in my opinion, and like I said, I'll read a quote from Desmond Howard. In my opinion, it's gonna hurt the game a lot. It's already impacting the game a little bit. There's rumors of tampering going on with USC and a receiver from Pitt, University of Pittsburgh, and teams. NCAA rules say teams and coaches from other teams aren't allowed to talk to players that are still on the roster of another team. So Lincoln Riley and his staff can't be talking to this receiver from Pitt before he even enters the transfer portal. And there were already rumors before the receiver even entered the transfer portal that he was going to USC, which is not okay because that's tampering. And there were rumors that a lot of commits to Oklahoma left to go to USC and were told things that they shouldn't have been told before Lincoln Riley and the majority of his staff moved on to the University of Southern California. There was even a coach with Bob Stoops on a recruiting trip that spoke to a player who decommitted from OU and went to Oklahoma, decommitted from OU and went to USC, and that coach was later hired on by Lincoln Riley. That's not okay. That's just one. There haven't really been any other rumors. That's just the main one, the biggest one. Biggest rumor right now with tampering and it's really I'm trying to put my OU fan aside because seeing Lincoln Riley do that and then talk about how it's going to hurt the game potentially and all that kind of stuff, but him taking advantage of it. I mean, if you want to win and you want to win now, you're going to take advantage of the things that the NCAA has given you. But the NCAA hasn't put any rules or stipulations on anything. They just kind of dropped it. I'll take Desmond Howard's quote. Let me pull it up. This is part of his quote. This is an interview he did with Brad Crawford, an article on 247 Sports, 24/7 Sports. And this is part of the quote. I'll read the rest of it in a second. There needs to be some sort of rules and regulations behind it. And to me, that has been the biggest problems. You hate to see this for the fans more than anything. There's another quote here, right here. There's no doubt about that. But when you just place it in their lap with no real rules and no real regulations and say, here, have at it, then it becomes the wild, wild west. And basically what he's getting at is, the NCAA didn't put anything down on kids transferring. They didn't. Baker Mayfield kind of led the way with that. And I know there's sometimes you have to sit out and all that kind of stuff. But if you enter the transfer portal, there's not really any rules. And the NCAA is going to have to come up with something very soon, in my opinion, to kind of regulate and handle and manage the transfer portal as professionally and as best as possible to give every team an opportunity and every athlete and coach an opportunity to recruit the correct way and not just tamper and talk to players before they're even off the team and all that kind of stuff, because it's really going to hurt college football. Now, I agree with the NIL. I mean, I stopped playing before it became a thing, so I didn't get to take advantage of it, but I know a lot of athletes, because of NIL deals, name, image, and likeness deals, have been able to provide for their families while they're in college. Yes, they got a stipend. Yes, they basically get a free education. But at the end of the day, there's a lot of athletes that come from really, really tough situations, and they're able to pay and help their families out with these deals, with these opportunities to make money from using from places and companies and businesses and all that kind of stuff using their name. So I think it's a good thing. At first, I was not. I was one of the, I guess you could say, I was part of the older. I'm not part of the older generation, but my thought process was you're getting a free education and you get, like, I don't know how much you get a stipend. It depends on where you're at and all that kind of stuff, but you get a stipend for playing, and I just didn't see why players, but I also understand universities, especially at the D1 level, not necessarily at the lower levels of college athletics, and this is for every sport. This isn't just Division I, or this isn't just football. This is happening in college basketball, in baseball, all sorts of stuff. And so the fact that players, I think it's a good thing that players are allowed to make money off their name, image, and likeness, but there has to be some sort of regulation with the transfer portal and all that kind of stuff. And here I'll read more of Desmond Howard's quote. This is him talking about the trajectory of college football. He says, "I'm not a fan of the trajectory of college football right now. I do not like where it's headed. Now, I've been pounding the table for guys to get NIL money because I think they deserve it. You need to get paid for your name, image, and likeness," which I agree with. There's no doubt about that. But when you just place it in our lap, this is the quote I said earlier, with no rules and no regulations here, and say, "Here, have at it," talking about the NCAA. He goes on to say it's a double-edged sword. They should get paid. They should be able to transfer. Coaches do it all the time. We have coaches who leave where they can still make the playoff and they jump ship. So if coaches can do it, players should be able to do it too. And then this is from I'm reading from Brad Crawford's article. As of right now, there are no apparent checks and balances for NIL or transfers, and seemingly no repercussions for tampering. And again, I think that's referring to the USC and Pitt receiver deal thing going on. So that's going to be interesting to see over the next few days, honestly, the next coming years, because there's just so many things that have to be figured out with all of that. And I really think it's going to make college football way different. College basketball too. A lot of college basketball analysts are agreeing with basically what Desmond Howard is saying, is there needs to be checks and balances. There needs to be rules and stipulations and regulations for all of this, because it's just going to hurt the integrity of the game. And I think the majority of analysts agree that athletes should be paid for the university using their name, image, and likeness. Because before, universities could take pictures, or places and businesses could take pictures and use a kid's name, and the kid would get nothing, and the business could make a ton of money, and the university, OU makes millions upon millions of dollars. University of Texas, Alabama, all those big football universities, that's kind of what we're focusing on here, make a lot of money off of those athletes. And for a very long time, they weren't able to get paid for it. And that's why you saw NCAA basketball and football and all those video games, for instance, just an example, those all went away because players got upset that they weren't making money off it. And EA and the universities that allowed EA to use their logo and all that sort of stuff made a lot of money. So that's kind of where I stand on the whole deal. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'd like to see what you guys think, whether you agree with me, whether you don't. I was talking to some buddies, and they're kind of anxious about what's going to happen. I mean, we're all anxious about it. I'll always love college football. But it's not really, I wouldn't say scary, but it's something to keep an eye on over the next several years as the NCAA maybe cracks down on it. I don't know. They've cracked down on things in the past that seem unimportant in my opinion, but this seems like a very important thing that they need to get under control and quickly, so you don't have a lot of, for instance, tampering and things like that going on at the collegiate level. So like I said, let me know your comments, and yeah, that's the video. I'll see you guys in the conclusion. Okay. Okay, that's the video. Thank you guys for being here. Like I said, I'm now back on TikTok. That link will be in the description of this video, along with my link tree where you can follow me on all other platforms and socials. We are 25 subs on the YouTube, and that means we're halfway to 50, 25 more to 50 subs here on the YouTube. With that being said, like the video, comment, give me your thoughts on NBA playoffs, college football, anything like that, or something you guys might want me to talk about in the next video or in the TikTok videos that I'm going to upload soon. And I can't thank you guys enough for being at 50 subs. It's a huge deal for me. I'm very thankful, for being halfway to 50 subs. We're at 25. I seem to be getting at least one sub a week, which is huge. I really appreciate that, guys. And that all comes from you all who are here watching and then sharing and telling people about it. And I thank you guys for that. I still have stickers. If anybody wants a sticker, just DM me or text me or whatever, and we can get that taken care of. And with that being said, thank you all for being here. Be sure to tell somebody you love them, you care about them, and that you're there for them. That's the most important thing. We'll see you guys in the next video, and I'll see you guys on all my socials this week. Have a blessed week, and deuces.